And we're live.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on, to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect, how it affects them, and the price of health. Thank you. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below.
Hey guys, welcome to another fun-filled Mandela Effect week. We're happy to be here and happy to present these things to you guys. We've got plenty to talk about tonight. Tonight is the, correct me if I'm wrong, Theresa, 5th anniversary of the famous Las Vegas incident that happened.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very sad that happened. Yeah, you want to go ahead and talk about the birthdays, and then we'll go right into that.
I also did find a huge Mandela effect related to the anniversary today. Yeah, there's something huge that changed the story. Yeah, huge Mandela effect to do with it. If you want me to talk about it after.
Yes.
I just barely found it today. I was sitting there in shock, like, no way. Yeah. But I'll tell you the birthdays first. Yeah, there's huge Mandela effect. Today's birthday. Happy birthday, Jessica Rainey. October 1st. I'm not going to give no ages away.
Hey mom, hey dad.
Even though I know their ages, I'm not going to say how old. Let's see who's coming up here. Steve Scott's birthday is on October 6th. Scrolling. Let's see here. Roger Torres, October 17th. Robert Wood, also October 17th. Danny Bolaños, October 22nd. Hebreo's birthday, happy birthday, Hebreo, October 26th. Gee, who else we got here?
All right, great. So we got, those are all the birthdays for this week, I guess. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe it's October 1st already.
No, I can't either.
I can't believe it's been 5 years since the Mandalay Bay incident. I
yeah,
remember
that
talking about that.
Something shaped for me.
It's crazy how it also mirrored the name of the Mandela effect in a way.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic that it sounds like.
Well, it was more across from the Luxor, and I'll tell you how I know is because when I used to live on the Strip, I lived in a crappy little motel. My hotel, little crap, it's no longer there. They tore it down a few years after I moved out. I was directly across from the Mandalay Bay, right across the street from it. But across the street on my right-hand side is where the incident happened. And that is straight across to the Luxor. So literally where this happened is straight across to the Luxor. But the person who did the shooting was on the 32nd floor. And I was watching a documentary earlier on it, and it talked more about it in depth. And that's how I found the Mandela effect, which I'll tell you about. He was on the 32nd floor, and he busted out the window, and he had a lot of semi rifles, what do you call them? Semi-automatic rifles and all kinds of weapons in his room. And he basically had everything in luggage when he brought it all in there. They just thought he had a lot of luggage. They never had looked. And that's where he was shooting out of. was from that room. But here's a weird thing: is supposedly he was 200 to 300 feet away, catty corner to the incident. So he was just shooting blindly. Literally, he was just shooting and shooting and shooting. And this is where this Mandela effect comes in. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this is where the Mandela effect comes in. I remember 5 years ago when this happened, he had only done like 5 to 6 rounds, like, and then stopped 10 minutes in between, and then again, and he only did 5 to 6. The most that I remember him doing was 5, probably 6. Well, earlier today, I was watching the on Paramount Plus, and they had a new show. It was like a 4-part series about the 5-year anniversary and how everybody kind of met up and, went through this together. And, a lot of memories and people who saved each other and nurses and everything. And they go step by step of what happened. Well, guess what? Now they're saying there was 12 bursts. There's no way there was 12 bursts. Now they're saying there was 12, shot, stop for, a few minutes, and then it started again. They're saying there was 12 now, and there was no 12. I'm talking about bursts, like pow, 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 little about 5 minutes in between, pow, 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 pow. You know what I'm saying? And now they're saying there was 12, and there was no way there was 12. There was probably 5 or 6 at the most, but not 12. And this is a huge Mandela effect for me. So that's why I wanted to bring this up.
Remember, it happened in your neck of the woods there.
Yeah,
like 4 blocks from.
Yeah, and I remember them telling the story of how many times, because the people were like hiding down on the ground and everything. They couldn't get up. There were people who were shot, and it was tragic. 50-some people died, and a lot of people were injured. A lot of people were
869 people injured.
Yeah,
58 were killed.
Yes, and I do have somebody who works with me that her sister was at this event that night, and she was there with her best friend, and her best friend that she grew up with died. So this was not a fake event, like somebody's going to say it was fake. No, the girl that works with me, very high up, I'm not going to give her name, she said that her sister was at the event with her friend that grew up with her, like best friends, and she got shot and died. But the girl at work, her sister said her sister was fine. She didn't get hit, but her friend with her got shit. Because remember, this was coming from the 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay, and they were shooting catty corner to this huge place where all this grass and dirt and events was going on the stage. And even the guy on stage, how do you say his name? The country singer, Aldean, Jason. He didn't even know what was going on. He thought it was like firecrackers or his equipment was acting up. And then finally, the security guy ran up there and told him to get off the stage, what was going on. He didn't even know what was going on because he's on stage, and he's got the ear things on and, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't even know what was going on. But like I said, the Mandela effect for me was, to me, it was only like 6 times like in between and not 12. And I'm still in shock about how many they're saying it was. So, and so it's 5 years today, and
I
very tragic.
I know. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
5 years today, yeah.
We should pray for the people who lost.
Yeah, you're right, Thomas. Supposedly he was a gambler, and he lost a lot of money. I remember reading about that, and also they mentioned it on the documentary earlier. That he was a gambler and he lost a lot of money. And even his wife, who was an Asian lady, she didn't even know this was all going on. He had sent her away somewhere, and he was taking care of her financially. She didn't even know this had happened. But then again, she wasn't here in the States. So I wonder if he sent her away on purpose, to do this tragic event. Yeah.
Well, speaking about, there's more stuff in your group that we need to.
Yeah, let's do that. But anyway, I thought that was a huge effect for me. And like I said, I remember 5 or 6, not 12 constant,
Well,
birth.
but
Yeah.
the thing is, I had also heard it was multiple people involved. Like it wasn't just the one.
Yeah,
dude.
no, that's another rumor that was going around, is that people were saying that there were shooters in the Tropicana. There was shooting going on in the Excalibur. So there was a lot of people just calling in, just to be calling in. There was only one shooter involved, and that's what we found out at the end of this. That there was a lot of false calls coming in, but it was only one shooter alone with the semi-rifles shooting from the 32nd floor. But yeah, a lot of that controversy went around. But yeah, it was only one shooter alone. Yeah. One shooter, and I thought the same thing. But yeah, at the very end, they explained that no, it was just him. Yep. All right. Should we go on to the links now? Brian?
Yes.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on then. But yeah, 5 years today. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay. What do you want to
remember you
pick
telling
first?
us
It's up to
about
you. I
it.
don't care. Pick
I
a
remember
good
you
one.
telling us about it on the 1 year anniversary.
Open Disney Plus.
All right.
That was 4 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long.
Oh, and if you do want to watch this documentary, it is on Disney Plus. Okay. It's a 4-hour. It's like 4 parts. 4 parts. Yep. And it's new. Which one are you picking, Brian?
Okay, I'm trying to put something on for
Okay.
be easy to watch here. So,
Can you all hear me?
It wasn't no false flag parody, Bear. They're saying it was a false flag. No, like I said.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
you guys hear me?
Okay, no one was answering me. I had to ask twice. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Takes me a second to get off mute.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought my phone just went whacking away.
Brian, it was not a false
Yep.
flag because, like I said, I knew somebody who works with me high up. Their sister was there, and their friend got killed. So it was not false flag.
No, I think it was something I can't say because YouTube won't let me say it.
No, but like I said, the lady who works with me is a very high up person. I can't say her name, but like I said, her sister was there at this concert, and her best friend that she grew up with
Theresa,
got shot.
I'll message you, Theresa.
I know, but I can't go into what. Send it the phone way, Sandy. Send it the phone way.
I can't.
Well, I can't look at it. It'll kick me out if I go the other way. Well, just put it in private messaging. Put it in the private chat.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Okay, Parody Bear says, why was 12 people murdered after people who said it was fake?
I have no idea. I didn't know anything about that. They never brought that up on the documentary. They never brought it up. Documentary.
My mom is asking what was his motive.
I don't know. The FBI
never.
never figured it out. They figured because, like I said, he was just he was a mad person, and he was abused as a child, and he was financially in trouble because he gambled a lot of his money away. So it's the only thing I can tell you about his background. And they did interview his brother too, and they said he was abused. So.
All right, this is you, Theresa. This is a segment where we talk about interesting 5. You pick the 5 top things from your group.
Yeah, and there is a Mandela effect inside of it as well. If you open up the comments, I didn't even know there's a one. So this is where Nambia Desert meets the ocean. But the Mandela effect is Nambia is not spelled like that no more. And if you scroll down to the, what do you call it, the comments, you'll see somebody mention. I was like, oh my God, you're right. Nambia is not spelled like that no more. And I did find a few pieces of residue, and they are in the comments. So if you scroll down, Brian, to the comment.
Yeah, I want to know because I remember that as something different, and it
Well,
changed to Nambia. So now I'm curious what it is now.
you'll see. I'll show you. I'll show you.
Jeff is going to be our constant
Taser.
in the chat tonight.
He's going to be like Fizzy. Tase him.
He's going to be fizzy. He's going to be handling the chat tonight.
All righty. All right, Brian,
Hi,
do me a
Jeff.
favor. Hi, Jeff. Brian, scroll down to the comments. Sorry. You can. Scroll down.
Okay, I'm coming.
Theresa, do you remember what they wrote in the comments, or can you tell us?
The person wrote that they remember a different spelling now. It's not spelled Nambia no more, which is I'm going to show you the way it's spelled now. There you go.
No. It was Namibia, and now it's Nambia. I remember Namibia, and now it's Nambia. And that's what they're saying. Unless it's flip-flop back to Nambia.
No, look what it is
Namibia.
now.
Wow, this is a
Look
tongue
what it is now.
twister.
But
I'm going to go look it up.
Brian, read what Paul said.
Sandy, I think there's actually two places. There's two countries. One's Namibia and one's Nambia.
No,
Are you
no,
serious?
there isn't.
You sure?
Oh, it shares land borders with Zambia. Zambia. With a Z.
Uh-huh. But look what Paul said. Scroll down to the comments again. Right there. Read what Paul says. Right there. And then I answered him.
This
The very
flip-flop
first-
for me.
Yeah, read what it says right there, Brian, where it says Paul.
Paul says the name of the country changed for me. It was Nambia, not Namibia.
There you go.
And for me, it was Namibia, changed to Nambia, and now it's back to Namibia.
And I've got residue. If you click on where it says 5 more replies, I've got some residue there. And one of them's a legal document. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of this place.
Right there. See that? I don't know. It's going to be hard to see it, but look at that's a legal document I found. I don't know if you can zoom in on that. I'm sorry. It was hard to even zoom on myself.
And as Jennifer, as if you go back to the comments, Sahara says we covered this before because we did. Because again, it's a flip flop. It was Namibia for me, and changed to Nambia, and now it's back to Namibia.
Okay, so it is Mandela. Brian, scroll down
Totally
and then
Mandela, totally flip flop.
Scroll down a little bit, and there's another piece of residue right there. Right there. Click on that one. That was another piece of residue I found. Look what it says. There you go. Nambia, African bracelet, primitive money, hammered bar bracelet. So I only found a few pieces of residue, but at least I'm sharing them.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing I have to ask, though. Okay?
But,
still a Mandela effect. But I'm wondering if we're getting it wrong. Because we're not perfect with, Africa, knowing all the countries.
Hey, Preliminary.
I'm wondering if Nambia changed to Zambia.
Oh.
Because Namibia borders Zambia with a Z. So I'm wondering if the change is actually Nambia to Zambia and not Nambia to Namibia.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. I just thought it was a good one.
Yes, I've never heard of any of these.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, 'cause how well do we know our African
How
countries?
well does the chat remember? Does anybody in the chat? What do you remember?
Hello.
Oh.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I know everyone's like singling us out.
All right.
Hi,
well,
everyone.
Brian, let's move on to the next one.
Names.
I believe it was Nambia. Well, I feel like they had Namibia and Nambia, maybe.
And that's why I believe maybe Nambia what is now Zambia.
Interesting. What do you think, guys? All right.
We have a lot of new people in the chat.
Oh.
Welcome to I Know Stuff and 2 Times and Parody Bears back. Welcome. Leo BCAC. I mean, we have our regulars here, don't get me wrong, but there's new people in the chat. Welcome, everyone.
Yay.
Welcome, everyone.
See it paste and post it in the group.
And welcome to everybody who's always here. Adam for Christ, John Nada, Anita and Tom. Of course, Jeff Esther's in the chat, too.
And Esther's in the chat.
So, Theresa has another one to share. So,
this is amazing. I have no idea how they made it, but can you click on what it says? Can you click on what it says?
Gabriel is a Mexican artist who lives in Dallas, Texas.
Uh-huh.
His work is based on research of the visible light spectrum. He gained fame for his Plexus series of large-scale sewing line installations, although he also creates paperworks and other media. You want to read that, Theresa?
I can't read it. It's too little. You can read it. You just showed the pretty pictures.
I can read it. I'll read it. It says, he gained fame for his Plexus series of large-scale sewing line installations, although he also creates paperworks and other media. The sensation is that the work is an ethereal spectrum of light with thousands of threads creating visual magic.
I thought this was beautiful, and I was like, whoa. And you know how always rainbows are always coming up in the Mandela effect. Like, yeah, you want to scroll and share some of the pictures? I found a few of them.
At first, I thought it was like light reflecting off something, like he was like able to. Then I was like, oh, it's thread. That is really cool, though.
Yeah, and look at some of the pictures below, Brian. If you want to zoom down, there's more pictures there.
Brian isn't here, which is why I read.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I think he's taking care of his daughter.
All right.
That is really cool.
I was like, whoa. I thought it was beautiful.
I may have to do something like that in my living room.
Wait till you see the ones below it. He'll be back, right?
No, he's going to leave us for the whole show.
That's a very interesting name, I Know Stuff. So when I read her comment, hi, I know stuff. It's like, hi, I know stuff.
Hey, Brian?
Yeah, did you read it? Or
yeah, can you scroll down to the other pictures below it and show more of the work?
Yeah, awesome.
Look at that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Wow. I thought it was very unusual. I mean, I've never seen it like that before. Have you? Look at that. You can,
so
you can click on the pictures.
Is it used?
I have no idea. You could always Google his name if you want to.
It's threads. They're colored threads.
Wow.
But they're so fine that it makes it look like light.
Isn't that beautiful? I've never seen work like that before.
I thought it was what it takes him to do each one.
I don't know, but it was beautiful. Brian, you can Google his name if you want.
Now it's artists like that I wouldn't mind spending, more money on something like that because that takes a lot of time.
Gabriel.
Those people who throw a banana on a wall and go, look, it's $10 million.
They have more pictures. There you go.
Yes, those are cool.
Yeah, you can probably see them a little bit more like better here.
Wow. And you can just go through the images and show some more of his work if you want. Wow. Look at that. You can't even tell. Didn't that look like it's actual light?
It does.
That's what
Look at that. Oh my God. I thought this was interesting.
I thought it was like a piece of...
yeah. I always like to find interesting things.
Yeah. Just light reflecting off from it. And then I was like, oh, that is strange. Really cool.
Now here's one Matthew Reed found, and this one, now this is interesting. You want to click on this one. Yeah. And wait until you see what they are. Brian, you want to read it?
They look like holograms, Anita. Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so Star Trek The Motion Picture 1979. Matt Reed posted this.
Uh-huh.
They have a black box thingy around their waist now, in which I absolutely no idea on the function.
I don't. Yeah. Do any of you guys remember these? Look at, and there's more pictures on the right.
No, it's weird though. Definitely weird.
Yeah, you can look at some of the comments if you want. Look at that.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan, but that doesn't look right.
Maybe they're
Let me.
There's so many things that change with Star Trek, so I guess it doesn't surprise me now.
They're competing with Star Wars. That's why they have to keep up. Look at
I
that.
can see that one with the belt, but the one without the belt.
I have never, and that again, that Matthew Reed found that one. I'm like, no way. And Parody Bear says no. Anybody else remember seeing these?
That is brand new for me. Brand new.
Oh, and when they crash, they check their black boxes.
Weird, man.
It's a good find. You look at the comments. Look at the comments in the post.
Oh, that's funny.
I said, no, I got to show this one. I said, no, this is a good one. So I always try to find the best ones,
So
you know.
this is what, Star Trek, the movie?
I think so, yeah. I don't think it's in the original Star Trek, you know, the very first ones. But I don't remember those boxes. Do you guys in the chat? No. Your dad said Star Trek the movie was a bomb. Damien G said never. Anita said never. That's weird. Anybody else remember this? Parody Bear says no.
Hi, Damien. Welcome.
Hey, Damien.
Hello.
High Pocket said no. Jeff Zanzibar says no. Anybody else? Con. John not the con. What else? Do you remember seeing these black boxes on their stomachs? It looks weird.
No, not at all.
So weird. You'd think we'd remember something like that standing out, you know. Anybody else? I guess that's it. Okay. Well, let's go on to the next one. Oh.
This one's Antony Rogers.
Antony Rogers. He finds some amazing things. I have no idea what this is, but if you want to play it, go ahead.
Mind-blowing electric magic with the first ever all-electric car.
Look at that. Watch this. Whoa. And how did that happen? See it?
Why would you want to make it look like water is pouring over your electric car?
What's some of the comments say?
That's kind of like the opposite thing you want to happen.
What do you think, Sandy? CGI?
Maybe they mean that their electric cars are powered by hydropower, because most electric cars are powered by batteries that literally cost $20,000 to $40,000 to replace, and leave gaping holes in the earth to dig out the lithium. So,
hi, Robert Humphrey.
And run on coal-powered electricity. So electric cars are like the worst thing for the planet ever made. But you know,
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's like, well, let's go electric, but yeah, that's.
So wait, so what is? I'm trying to figure out what Antony is saying here. So he's saying this is the first ever all-electric vehicle.
I don't know what to say. Too bad he wasn't in the chat.
Mind-blowing electric magic.
That's all it says.
Well, I guess because like Teslas and stuff can have like a backup, you can actually put gas in them.
Oh. Possibly.
Yeah, because I didn't know that. Like, there was somebody, they actually had people, like many TikToks that my kids were watching. They were showing where people had run out of like their electricity out on the side of the road, and they had a gas tank. And they're like, "What are you doing? Why are you trying to put gas in your electric car?" And like,
yeah, I've heard Tesla. You can do both.
You talking about Teslas that have gas powered?
Or electric.
They were able to, they have like this small reserve. So if you run out of electricity, like if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can still put gas in your car to get you to where you need to go.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just found that out a week ago.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I was like, that's why everybody was like, what? This is electric guitar, not guitar, but sorry, electric car. Why are you putting gas in? They're like, no, it's because we there's no electricity around. So you put gas in your car to you can get to an electric station.
So I'm reading here that Teslas actually don't have gas tanks, someone's saying.
What?
Yeah, it's something about, I don't think it's the gas tank. It's something about, there's like a generator or something like that in there that you put it in, and then the generator kicks on, and then it's something about the way that it works. really, it was a TikTok video. So what, it didn't go into a large explanation. It was just like, no, you just put it in this and then that charges your battery enough to get you to where you need to go. And it was like, okay, but you're still running it off gas. You're still using gas.
Interesting.
That's okay. It was funny. So yeah, I mean, you can't go up to a gas tank and like go fill it up. That's an emergency resort thing. So like if you're out in the middle of like nowhere, it allows you to get to a gas or an electric station.
Okay. Brian, we got more coming. Let's see, how many do we have left? How many's left?
I don't know, but if you go try to find an electric vehicle right now, it's very hard. And if you do find one, they're like super expensive.
Rather use my gas-powered car than destroy the earth even further. Why alone?
So much worse.
I'm more in line with the hybrid.
I want to welcome to the chat Checo Perez. Alone is here. Robert Humphrey. I think I said John Nod earlier, just in case I missed you. And Brian, is your son joining us?
It's a little late where he's at, so I think he's asleep.
Oh,
that's okay.
Okay, maybe next time.
All right, Brian, is that it for my links? I thought I had one more.
Please, I want pops.
Okay, hold on.
What they need to do is have the solar-powered cars. That's what they need to. They were supposed to do that first. Why didn't they do that? Then you know.
Yeah, that little Rick Moranis guy, he invented one.
Ah, that one. Have you ever seen a car like that before?
I have, all over like on Facebook and stuff, and it's just a weird car.
Bird's eye peak.
Really cute. I wouldn't mind having one of those.
I mean, I don't know when it was made. It wasn't that long ago, but
2005. That's what Antony said.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Well, maybe I don't think it was that long ago, but I don't know how.
Good on gas. Be good on gas mileage.
Then again, I haven't been on Facebook like super long time, so
yeah. But Brian, are we going to talk about your Hocus Pocus one? Did he disappear?
Okay, so there's a bird's eye pea car.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't it cute though? I wonder if it come in any other color or not.
Kind of reminds me, like there was a cartoon that had cars like that. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a cartoon my kids would watch occasionally.
Not fun.
Wasn't that with that dog Muttley?
I don't remember. My kids only watched it a couple of times, and
I feel like it was like Dastardly and Muttley and all those guys. They might have had a vehicle like that.
Your dad said it looks like an amusement car ride.
It does.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Looks like something that should be at Disney World, don't it? Like a ride. We're going to do yours, Brian?
I don't remember.
Well, I spotted this in Theresa's group, and I wanted to talk about it because the new Hocus Pocus 2 movie came out, and it's on Disney Plus. It's been like 30 years since
good one.
Out. When did it come out? 1993. So they did a
29 years ago. They said.
Yeah, 29 years.
They aged really good, but they put them on a lot of makeup for this movie. You can kind of tell. Bette Midler looks like she aged a little bit more, but Sarah Jessica Parker held her own. I mean, they look pretty good. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Bette Midler revealed that we've been quoting the Hocus Pocus incorrectly for nearly 30 years.
Yeah. Love the commercials.
Gotta love the commercials.
Okay, where is it where she says it? There we go.
So she plays Winifred Sanderson in Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2. She said,
listen to it.
When she said, I put a spell on you, and now it's not what you think. Okay, this is it.
She puts an end to the debate over her famous line.
I don't want to get copyright.
You shouldn't.
Salem, not sailors. Why would I say hello, sailors? No, it's Salem.
She's saying she's arguing that she was saying "Hello Salem" in the original Hocus Pocus, and a lot of people are remembering "Hello Sailors."
And I gave you residue. Remember?
Right. So is it
Show the residue.
What do you guys remember her saying? Some blank or hello blank? I put a spell on you.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I watched the movie once, and we were being silly when we watched it, so I didn't really pay much attention.
Do you remember Salem or do you remember Sailor?
I remember Sailors.
You're going to show the residue? I found a few pieces, not a lot, but a few. That means other people remember. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one, Brian. Like, seriously, I'm 50-50. I kind of remember both. I can't really go either way.
It's just weird that she's saying that we've been saying it wrong.
Yeah. Doesn't that kind of make it suspicious, like it's the Mandela effect?
Well, I think that's what they're hinting at here.
Yeah.
John Nada, never saw it.
What?
I like how John Nada said it. I've only watched it, I think it was last year. My brother had invited us over. We were doing a movie night, and that was the movie that they had picked. I'm like, I've never seen it. And so we're watching with a bunch of kids, and typically when I watch movies, especially with friends, we'll usually pick on the movie. So I was kind of like listening to it, but kind of also like your own dialogue. Like we do like a commentary when we watch movies. And I can love a show or a movie or whatever I'm watching, and I could absolutely love. Like I loved Wonder Woman and I watched it in the theater with them. And we were just sitting there picking on the movie the whole time. It's like we loved the movie, but it was so a lot of the dialogue I did miss. And also we were
hello.
So.
And I did find a few pieces of residue, which Brian's going to show now. There's a girl dressed up like one of the witches. I believe who's that one? Which one that's supposed to be?
That's Winifred Sanderson.
Yeah, that's right. And look what it
Hello,
says.
Sailors. My name is Winifred. What's yours?
Yep, there's one piece of residue. I got a few pieces.
Hello, Sailors. My name is Winifred. What's yours?
She's using one of those. What do you call it? And there's another one.
Hello, Sailors. My name is Winifred. What's yours?
Yeah, I found a few pieces.
Like it was totally Sailors.
There's another one.
She was saying that we've been saying it wrong for the last 30 years.
Yeah, I didn't find very many pieces, but I did look for what I could find.
The other thing that's a known Mandela effect, and it's an older one, but you remember the cat? You guys saw the picture of the cat there, of a cat, the black cat from the original movie, and it was his name was Zachary Binks, and now it's Thackeray Binks, and that kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Brian. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. I kind of remember that too.
Yeah, it was totally Zachary Binks.
Yeah, once again, I didn't really pay much attention. I'm not really into those types of movies most of the time anyway.
Do you remember that Mandela effect we found, or not we found, but somebody found years ago? It was that witches were not burned in Salem.
Yeah. That's an old one.
Weren't they actually drowned, I think, instead of burned at the stake?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's kind of interesting because just thinking about that, actually, I remember, what's it called? My word, I'm spacing on their names. Monty Python. They did do you remember the Holy Grail? They drowned the witches, and then they were drowning the witch because they're like, well, what floats? Ducks float, and they did that. No, that's right. They were going to burn her. Sorry, I'm getting it confused with a different plot line. That's right. They were going to burn her. Sorry, I'm sleepy. I'm thinking about because they were using ducks, and they were like, oh, well, she'll weigh the same amount as a duck or a swan or whatever. It was some duck or a swan, and they put them like together, and then they were like, they weigh the same because she's supposed to be made out of wood. So she's going to weigh the same amount as a duck. I love their logical thinking. Yeah. But yeah, actually, Doctor Who, they did an episode where they were doing witches and they actually drowned them. And they said if they sunk, then, they weren't a witch. But if they lived, then they were a witch. Hmm.
Theresa, it looks like we've got 2 of yours to cover. And then, let's see, we'll go on with the rest.
All right, Sandy should be back soon. All right, you want to do?
I'm here. I've been here.
Oh, okay. All right, which 2, Brian?
Yeah, Salem witches. Yeah, they were different than King James, but still, it was kind of interesting.
Okay, this is yours, Theresa.
Okay. I covered the lyric of a song change back in 2020, and now it looks like looks like the title of the song is changing too. Which song title do you remember? MacArthur Park, or number 3, MacArthur's Park?
Okay, you'll have to tell me where is this located? Is this in Philly, or where is this at?
Oh God,
Los Angeles.
Where?
L.A.
LA.
Oh, LA. Anyone who's ever been to LA has probably been to this park.
Yeah.
It's pretty famous.
Let's go to the chat.
So far, I got 3 and 2.
So we have.
So we don't have 1 yet.
Mm-mm.
I don't know this.
We have a couple. We have 2 3s and a 2.
Interesting. We can move on if we have no more answers. And Gainus is 3. Dobloris is 2.
My dad said it's MacArthur's Park.
Ah, he remembers MacArthur's. Interesting.
Without the apostrophe.
Ah. Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
Never heard of the park
Okay.
or the song. I mean, maybe I've heard the song and I just don't.
Well,
know.
who sings the song?
I'll have to
No.
look it up. I forgot.
You guys see my screen?
Yep.
Donna Summer. Isn't it Donna Summer?
Who sings the song?
Donna Summer, isn't it? Or maybe not.
So it's Richard Harrison version.
Oh, Richard Harris?
Well,
Okay.
that might be who wrote it, but we don't.
Jimmy Webb.
You know who sang it?
I'm trying to look it up. It says Richard Harris. Oh, the original singer. The original singer, it
Donna
says,
Summer.
yeah. But yet it's saying Richard Harris, too.
There might be an alternate version.
Interesting.
No, the original was Richard Harris. Donna Summer covered it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah, MacArthur. It says MacArthur Park is a song written by songwriter Jimmy Webb.
Whoa. Ow. Ow. The original change was the line.
Recorded, of course, by Irish actor and singer Richard Harris. So it was sung by Richard Harris, but Jimmy Webb wrote it. All right. So now we got that clear.
Okay. The original change was the line MacArthur Park is melting in the dark. It changed to MacArthur's Park, but the title at that time was still MacArthur Park. Okay, Brian. However, the title can now be found all three ways, which is another variation effect. However, the actual park is still called MacArthur Park. And there you're going to see what it is now.
I mentioned that is on Curious Show. What is that logo in the middle?
Messed up.
I have no idea. Like the C is swallowing up the A.
Like there's C's attached to every letter.
It's so stupid.
Sit down.
Can't even read it. It makes it really hard to
No,
read.
it's horrible.
So we're saying you guys remember MacArthur Park, and now it's MacArthur's Park, right?
No, we're saying that it's Mac space Arthur, MacArthur, and MacArthur's. It's all three now. But the actual park is still MacArthur Park with no space.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Like, literally, I'm finding the same album covers of Donna Summer with it spelled two different ways.
Too many realities merging. Oh, yeah, there's Donna Summer. See her? It's a good song, though. I was going to play a snippet of it, but you don't want to get your copyright.
Great find.
Thank you.
Yes, good find, because our residue was all messed up for the original presentation.
Okay.
All right, next one. This is Theresa and Sandy.
Okay.
Do you want to read this one, Sandy, or Theresa, both of you?
No, Theresa can read it because I got plenty to read tonight.
She's got tons. And I'm trying to hang in there.
Well, me and Esther,
this is a flashback. We never made a presentation for this.
Oh. Me and Sandy found a change to a product a long time ago, which we discussed on a stream, but never made a presentation or found residue. So we are presenting it again tonight.
Do you know what it was? We were talking about the logo, and as we were talking about the logo, you and I were like, oh my God, that's not the name.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all we talked about it.
Please spell the rest of the name of the steak product found in the grocery section of the grocery store, steak blank. I think Brian did this one. Brian?
Please include any punctuation if you remember any. It matters.
Sandy, I think Brian did this one.
Brian did this one too?
I think so. Brian?
No, we covered it before.
You sure?
I remember it was.
We did cover it before. Yeah, Theresa, we found it. We covered it, but we didn't make a presentation.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it.
Okay, never mind.
That's why we need to make a presentation.
So some people, I guess, remember umms, and some people remember umms.
Steak-ums.
No, we need to keep going. We need more answers before we go on, because there's so many realities happening here. And I didn't even look for EMS. I didn't even look for that. But it's interesting. The punctuation is important, so I thank you, High Pockets, for throwing that punctuation in there. Because I'm telling you, the punctuation's important.
Yes.
Look, a doll. A doll.
Esther, what do you remember?
It's been a while.
What's she?
I know it's Steak-ems, but I can't remember.
Those things were good.
My brain
We
wants.
got like 2 answers in the chat, and Brian's already moving on. All right, Brian. Go ahead, Theresa.
Well, I'm kind of remembering both the EMS plus the UMS. But I can't remember.
I'm having a dual memory because of the punctuation. I remember Steak-ums and Steak-ums.
So I remember the dash and the apostrophe because I started seeing Residue with the apostrophe, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that actually looks right. So I'm seeing, I'm having a dual memory of the dash and the apostrophe, but for me, it was UMS.
Oh, I remember 2 M's.
I know you do. Keep on reading, Theresa.
Me and Jeff remember it. Oh, okay, never mind. Me and Jeff remember it as Steak-ums with 2 M's, but none of our memories match the current reality. Jeff in the chat?
Yes.
Steak-ums with 2 M's or versus 1 M.
Yeah, I remember 2 M's. Okay.
And I remember 1 M.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember.
But we all remember it plural. That's the problem.
Oh. Do you remember it being called Steak-ums? For me, the S is changed to an M, and for me and Jeff, the S fell off the name. Do you remember it like us or the current way? This is really under my head.
And you went back and looked at like old commercials and everything else, right? Like you.
It's.
Just
I
make
even
sure
yeah.
that it was with a
It's
logo
always
change
been like
or.
Brian. Always been
What
like
are they
this.
saying in the chat? What are they saying in the chat?
Anita says she remembers it like me. Steak-ums with 1 M, plural.
Just with
1
me.
M for John Nada. Steak-ums, 2 M's for your dad, which is just crazy. Your mom and dad remember different things. That's crazy. But they all remember. Everybody remembers it plural. Does anybody remember it singular?
No.
Anyone just remember the
Sounds weird. Steak-um.
No.
Honey, go buy me some Steak-um.
So
Yeah.
I want to point this out. The reason why it's pink is because it's still wrong. It's singular. But all of these ads, thank you, Jeff, point out, can you go back, Brian? It's but only 1 M. So they remember the 1 M like me, but they have the current reality that where it's singular.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, let's move on, please, Brian.
So this is the apostrophe
Well,
that I was seeing. And I'm like, you know what? That kind of looks right, too. So I'm having to do a memory on the apostrophe.
I don't remember the apostrophe. That looks off for me.
With 2 M's, it might look off. But with 1 M, it looks right to me. All right, so bright green is 2 M's with the S.
I see that. That's good residue right there because it's, again, you see in the ad versus the title is totally different.
I remember UMMS with the dash. That dash is always there for me. Yep.
Well, like I said, I have a dual. I do remember the dash as well. Preliminal is Steak-ums with a dash and 1 M.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
That's
thicker.
crazy.
I don't remember them as. They're thicker now. They were thinner. They were a lot nicer before. Now they're really thick and rubbery like.
Yeah. I think this is a good one though. A good Mandela effect, right?
I don't think I've ever eaten one.
It is.
But I used to see them all the time.
I made them a long time ago. I remember them being really delicious.
So the top is 1 M and the bottom is 2 M's.
Yeah. It's crazy. Steak-umm.
And now the rest are all 1 M's, including a comic.
That's crazy. So everybody's remembering differently then, Brian.
Yeah,
Everybody's remembering differently.
We'll have to go back. I'm thinking like another year from now and see if any of this residue has changed. Because residue changes.
Probably. It probably has. That's crazy. Is that it for this one?
I think no. Wait, there's more.
Oh, Sandy.
Well, there are 3 different realities, Theresa.
You forgot the Steak-ems. You forgot the EMS.
I didn't know someone remembered EMS. I didn't look for it. Now, Theresa, you have a discussion with the UFO emblem, and then you're done, I think.
God.
Let's talk about another food item.
No, Brian, do Theresa's first. She has a discussion thing.
Oh.
Discussion. I have a discussion.
It's never good when somebody says, I need something to discuss with you. You say 99% of people get scared when they say, can I ask you a question? 99% of people get scared.
I thought there was a different page for this one, Sandy.
Wait. You talking about...
No, there's no words. You're just discussing what happened.
Psychology says that 99% of people, when presented with the question, can I ask you a question, it makes 99% of people scared. Because you think that they're going to ask something. Well, you think that they're going to ask you something like, serious, and you don't want to answer the question, kind of like, can I ask you a question? And you're just like, what are you going to ask me? Like, it makes
I wouldn't say scared. I would say my defenses go up, like you're worried, unless you're just talking to your friends.
Yeah, that's kind of like the idea of like you get.
No, I would say that the sentence that would scare people is, "We need to talk."
Yeah.
Either one.
I'm gonna ask Evie real quick. Evie, can I ask you a question?
No.
Let me ask you a question.
No.
That's funny.
Right there, and unbiased.
She did get scared for a minute.
That's funny.
We have a Todd in the chat. Welcome, Todd Chase.
Brian?
It's relevant. You'll see.
Isn't that a question?
Okay, so what is this here? UFO shows massive intelligence?
So supposedly there was a logo
Wait, Theresa, before we get to the logo here, I want to explain that in 2020, the government released footage and proof that UFOs exist. And no one batted an eye. No one cared because of everything else going on in the world. That's probably why they released it in 2020. And then Theresa noticed something with a logo, which we're about to look at. So go on.
Yeah.
That's more of the footage and stuff.
Yeah, because that's been all about releasing UFO sightings, and they're coming out with the. You've seen that.
I think at this point, with all the sci-fi shows and stuff like that, if there is that stuff, why don't they just release it at this point? I don't think anybody's going to be like, ooh.
Brian, can you zoom in to the right bottom? So the United States Air Force decided to release this new logo. And then they turned around and took it off. If you look on the left there, you'll see. Look on the left, the posting on the left. Yeah, look what it says. Read that. At the top. At the top of that one. Read that.
It says, not a bad logo for the National Intelligence Manager for Aviation.
Yeah, and zoom in on it.
I see it. It's got a UFO on it.
Right. And then they turned around and they said it was a mistake and all this. You'll see. Where's it at, Sandy? The article?
It's coming up.
Okay. So first they have this logo they're ready to release. And all of a sudden they're saying, oh, it was a mistake. and they take it off real quickly. It was like, yeah, it sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, that's
There
weird.
you go. Look, read that.
U.S. Okay, UFO was added then removed from the logo of the U.S. intelligence agency. Temporary logo, which the agency said was posted in error, seemed to include a Russian fighter jet, leading to many think it was a joke. Cyberscoop reported it.
Yeah, and there's also a UFO there too. If you zoom in on the one on the left, you'll see a UFO thing as well. Yeah, look at that. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, it was a mistake."
I doubt that.
Sounds suspicious to me. So yeah, and this was all over the internet and social media. I thought it was interesting. You don't make a logo and release it, and then all of a sudden you say, "Oh no, that was an error. We're sorry. We're going to take that off. Just ignore what you just seen." You know, that was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, they might have accidentally revealed the correct one. Yeah, they might have been like, "Well, that's not the one that we wanted to show you yet." You know, they might have been not ready to share that.
Yeah,
yet.
it's just kind of suspicious.
My Band-Aid. Okay, let's talk about these lance crackers.
This dude? Oh, Sandy just got kicked out.
Uh-oh.
Must be that StreamYard bug.
Yeah.
It really happens every hour.
And I'm starting. Do you want me to read it? Because I'm starting to crash. But if you want me to read this one.
Yeah. If you want to read this one.
Yeah, I'm starting to crash. But yeah, I'll do it. Go ahead.
Let's see. Let's wait for Sandy to get back, actually.
Or do you want her to do it?
She might. I'll let her do this one. Because this is a huge one.
Can I go? Can I go?
Yeah. Yeah, Theresa, if you're free to go.
I did good. I did the birthdays. I did the Facebook, and I presented mine. This is going to be all about Sandy now.
All right. Thank you, Theresa, for providing.
Sandy, you're on. I'm going to excuse myself, and it's all about you now. Okay?
No, there's also Esther and Brian here.
I'm going to say good night. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Theresa.
Hello.
Good night, Theresa. Can you
good night.
Me?
Night.
All right. Good night, everyone. No, now I could. That was weird.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I couldn't before.
Good night, Theresa.
Good night, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Good night.
Oh, Brian, go.
Of course. Well,
no, it's just you and me.
At least people can hear me. I was scared for a moment.
Yeah, because we were going to get that. Well, he was going to present over.
Yeah, he was going to present the stuff we covered on Curious's channel first, and then we have more new stuff.
Mom.
Okay, we're going to cover these lance crackers.
You want to read that one, Brian?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. I don't know if this has been covered or not, but a snack from the Lance machine that was in my grade school has changed. And Sandy found this one. This is huge. So the orange cracker version of the peanut butter toasty was called what? Lance Toast blank.
Now, if you saw this on Curious's channel, just answer what you originally answered.
Yes.
And if you don't know, I don't know, it's fine too.
Okay, I'm going to turn to the chat.
Okay.
Please, guys, put what you remember. Lance Toast blank. Jeff's in the chat. Hey, Jeff. I hope you can get your phone working right.
High Pocket says cheese with an EES, no E at the end.
I thought we already covered this.
We covered it on Curious show.
Yes.
No, I mean like before, like a year ago. At least a year ago.
I covered a Lance change, but not this. I did cover a change with Lance, but not this cracker. Unless you shift it.
Well, it's just
From
the
reality
cheese
where
thing.
we covered it and we didn't.
Well, if it's the cheese crackers, then I know we've already covered this, at least on my end.
It was Lance. It was cheese with
Because I
it was spelled
1,000
wrong.
remember because I went to Walmart the next day and I looked at them and I'm like, what?
This is
Sorry,
so weird. Esther, there's nothing in Flickr. There's nothing in my folders on my iPad. We didn't cover it.
Yeah, this is the
Okay,
second
anyone
time
else?
you guys have covered something that I clearly remember us covering. That I was there when we covered it. This
And I'm
weird.
seriously saying it's a shift. It has to be a shift.
Sorry, Brian. I didn't
That's
mean to
happened to me
interrupt you.
before
It's
where
just my
I've
brain is like freaking out.
I mean, I have seen videos that no longer exist anymore. And for me, it's a flip flop, and everybody is thinking it just changed. And I'm like, I've seen a whole video on this, and it doesn't exist.
But is it? Do you think that's YouTube possibly getting rid of videos, or is it the Mandela effect erasing videos?
No, it's the Mandela effect because no one else remembers the video that I saw.
Oh, yeah, that's
So,
like the one I.
Jeff has the current memory, but he remembers the dash. And that is so wrong for me. Go ahead, Brian.
I remember them being called Lance Toast Cheese. That's what I remember too. And but they've always been Toast Chee, Chee. You remember Chee?
So this was the second time.
So originally, Esther, you did not remember this.
So, well, it was CHEES. You guys had covered that where the E had disappeared. And now it's just Chee without the S on it.
Okay, so you remember it without the E, and now it's without the SE.
Yeah, because I always remember it being cheese. And then I remember you guys had covered it like about a year ago or so with that. And then the E had disappeared. And now it's without the S and the E. That's weird. Do you guys remember covering it, but the S was still there, but the E was missing?
Oh, you mean like the word cheese without the E at the end?
Yeah, you guys had covered it, like I said, a while ago. But it was like around a year or so ago.
Like High Pockets remembers it. High Pockets remembers cheese without the E on it.
Yeah, I do remember it always was spelled the word cheese. And then, like I said, when the first time it happened without the E, then we were all like, what? Well, that's stupid. That's not how you spell the word cheese. And then now it doesn't have the S and the E. Wow, this is weird. Mm-hmm. It's like as soon as it's going to have a C. It's like Back to the Future when his picture started disappearing. Oh no, there goes one sibling, now the other one. Oh, this is
more
weird.
Residue. There's residue here for toast cheese, the way we remember it.
Yeah,
Oh, and I don't remember the episode that we were talking about it in either because it was so long ago now.
I mean, stores that seem pretty reliable with the weekly ads and the shopping online. It's just weird how it's spelled differently than what's on the package. Why would they do that?
I buy these crackers. I'm not often, but I do look at them every week. Because my kids are always wanting snacks like this. I rarely buy them, but I don't remember it being Chee.
I've never seen Chee in my life.
I said when I saw the E disappeared, it took me a little while to adjust to that. Now I'm gonna have to adjust the cheek. Oh,
That's
I don't know. Brian didn't mention it, but I found residue. If you remember Z, I found residue of CHEEZ and also CHEESE. So there's
definitely no Z
residue
for
for
me.
both of that.
I can definitely say definitely no Z because I would have remembered that because Cheez-Its. Which,
Brian, you
that
missed
changed.
one at the bottom. Brian, there's a new one next to the candy folder from last week. You missed.
Okay. Talking about the mattress.
Yep. This one's a big one for me.
Okay, you want to read this one, Sandy?
How about we give Esther a chance to read?
All right, Esther, you read this one.
I can't weed. No. A mattress brand spelling has changed for Sandy, and I'm curious if anyone remembers it like she does. I'm assuming.
Well, that's okay. You can't read. I don't. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet, and I don't know why.
Yeah. My son said yesterday, 364 days in a year. I'm like, you mean 365? Whatever. Or 367. That's what he said. I'm like, no. It's like, well, you leap year. I'm like, okay, 365 days in a year, not 366. All right, I can't say numbers. Please spell the first name of the brand S blank and Foster. Oh, this one is.
Jeff, did you shift? Because I don't remember you remembering the current reality.
Of what? What, Sandy?
The name of this. It's pronounced Stearns and Foster. You're spelling Stearns in the chat. Stearns. I said, I don't remember Jeff having the current reality. I'm asking if he shifted.
I'll have to get all stern about it. No, I don't actually think I know about this.
That's right.
It's a me.
Is this a rewind?
No. Why isn't he leaving the graphic up for people who are just
May. Or something.
My dad said.
Fine.
My dad said Stearns and Foster. That was our first mattress.
All right, now I'm gonna have to look
this up. We covered this on Curious and Curiouser a couple days ago. But it's not on Brian's channel. That's why we're covering it.
I've seen many mattresses commercials in my life. Go ahead, Esther.
Oh, sorry,
It's not on our screen, Brian.
You see it?
No, it's not.
No.
Nope. Please spell the name of the first part of the brand.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can see it or you can't?
Yes.
Yes, now. I've seen so many mattresses, mattress commercials in my life. I've seen the spelling on the TV screen. It was Stearns and Foster for me, but Stearns has an A now that I have no memory of. Do you? Oh, it's STAR.
It was not A for me. It was always just STERNS.
I'm trying to see it without the A.
Well, we're going to see it without the A in the residue, which Jeff was so kind to find. I found some online, but I found a lot in the papers.
Yep, okay, I was correct on that. I was just sorry. I was reading the comment.
High Pockets just mentioned one of the first Mandela effects I covered on Brian's channel, that the tags never said, or they did say it, but they removed that saying before I was even born in the 1960s.
Yeah, you talking about the remove under the penalty of law?
Yep, under penalty. Now it says, do not remove under penalty of law except by the consumer, meaning we were allowed to remove the tags the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
You were not allowed to remove this tag, or you could face jail time.
Which I don't understand why. Why were you not allowed to remove the tag?
It had to do with legislation, because prior to legislation with those tags, mattress dealers would do shady stuff like fill things with hay, even nails to try to make it more plump. People would get hurt. People would get sick from the stuff that they would stuff inside the mattresses. So the tags, which would tell you what was inside, were to protect the consumer. So mattress dealers could not remove the tags, but consumers could. That was not my past. In my past, we used to like joke around that we were going to go to jail to cut the tags off.
Yeah, I always remember it being like you weren't allowed to remove it, and it's like, really? Like, why can't I remove my mattress tag?
My mom said prices were cheaper on beds back then, or cheap back then.
Prices were cheap prices were cheap 10 years ago compared to now. Prices were cheap 2 years ago compared to now.
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah. You could buy milk for what was it? It was $1.19 for milk. I'm serious.
All right, Brian, this part is just like sorry. I was just telling Brian, this part is just a refresher. You can play it as we read it. I'll read it, but you can play it as we read it. Go ahead, Esther. What were you going to say?
I was just saying, like, I went to go buy a 2-liter bottle of soda, and it's gone up $1. It's like $2.68 or something, and I'm like, it used to be like $1.50, and it's like,
you have no idea. Do you know how much they are here? Because we have a sugar tax that we didn't even get to vote on.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just surprised because like soda is like, well, for us, like soda is like the cheap thing, you know, like if you want something cheap to drink, it was always cheaper than a 20-ounce bottle or whatever, like go buy a 2-liter bottle. But it was like, wow, like the prices, I mean, this was at Walmart, so it was like the price to go up a whole $1 and not even that much time. I think it's maybe, I rarely buy soda, but 6 months or whatever, it's gone up that much. It's like, wow, this stuff has gone up ridiculous
How
amounts.
much do you guys pay for like the 12-pack of cans?
That's gone up to about
$5. It's like $5 or $6.
Yeah, it's almost $6.
Ours are 11.
Wow.
$11 for 12-pack.
You know, if you go to places like Walgreens or CVS, sometimes you can get them 3 for $12.
Listen, I don't buy a lot of soda. I buy like a 2-liter bottle maybe once a week at the most, and that's if I really want to, like, you know. Like I'll buy like one. Yeah, for my kids.
You know what I notice a lot? I notice like I notice Pepsi is sometimes cheaper than Coke, or mostly cheaper than Coke. Like you can buy a Pepsi product cheaper, unless it's Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is going to be pricey, huh?
Mine's the opposite. It's cheaper for Coke products.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so here, anything with added sugar, from sodas to tomato sauces, have a sugar tax added on, again, that we did not get to vote for. They just put it in place. And it's really a tax on the poor, because if you have a car and are able to get out of Philadelphia, out of the actual county, the sugar tax doesn't exist. So it's really a tax on the poor who can't leave the city, who have to pay the higher prices. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's reasoning behind it, but it's not really going to deter people from eating sugar. It's just going to make them pay more for it.
Which the government shouldn't have the right to decide. It's America. Yeah. We should be able to decide what we put in our bodies, in my opinion. They shouldn't have the right
That's
to
like this
decide that
whole
for us,
thing
like
with
we're
like
5 years old.
well, like cigarettes, they were trying to raise the price to get people to deter from smoking, and it's like, well, there are people who can't quit smoking. What are you gonna do then? It's like, oh,
Mama,
You go broke like we did.
Mama,
yeah,
We are broke as broke can be, but
Mama.
I can't tell you how many times I've tried quitting smoking. Raising the
yeah. It's
price
like I
doesn't
said,
stop people from smoking.
Where's Mama?
yeah. I mean, there are
Makes
some
people go
people that
broke.
are like, I don't know why
Smoking's an
you can't just
addiction.
quit. It's like there are some people that legit can't. I have a
And there are some
coworker
people that
that
legit
will
can,
not
though.
try,
They're,
and
they're,
she was like insane almost by trying to quit smoking, and she's like, nope, you are better to be on cigarettes than not. And it's like some people just can't. So, you know.
some people have no problem, but they're very far and few between. The majority of people, it's an addiction that's worse than cocaine, and it's more addictive than cocaine. That's the actual wording, and to just raise prices to try to stop people from smoking, all it does is make people go poor
Yeah.
because they can't stop.
They're
Not
trying to
everyone
talk
can't
you
stop,
to
but a
like.
lot can't stop.
It's like we're gonna put the raises price so you'll stop buying. It's like no. It just makes them have to choose: do I want to eat or smoke? And typically,
Exactly.
because you're addicted to something, you can't stop doing it. You're going to choose that over food or any other necessity. It's like because it's something that you got addicted to at a younger age, and it's like,
Well, I don't smoke, but I've heard it's harder to quit than it is for heroin addiction.
Yes.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
know what? It's also the only addictive substance that you cannot check yourself into rehab so that you don't have access to it.
Anyway, let's
Let's
Yeah,
move
talk
on.
about
we're
this
way off
Cinderella
topic.
effect here.
We got way off topic there, didn't we?
We're just
Way
thinking
off
about
as we're talking about Disney.
we're
Let's smoothly transition into Disney.
What a
all right.
word. What a word that you just used. Okay, so you can hit play while I read. In 2018, I covered Cinderella's dress transformation. The blue dress is now white, but it goes back to blue. We're going to see this. It's a variation effect now. So as you can see, here's the transformation. It's white as white can be.
Mm-hmm.
And the horses are blue, so it's not like, it's faded. It's just actually white.
You can see she's wearing blue, so you very clearly can see she's wearing blue.
She also didn't have that black band around her neck.
Correct. It was blue. But now the black band makes sense because she's in white. The black and white is match. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, you notice her headband is
Exactly.
actually slightly blue. So her
I don't know if
headband is
it's
still
blue or if
blue.
it's that grayish white color of the dress.
Even her
It might be the
shoes
gray.
are
I'd have to see close up again. Yeah, the
the
shoes look
same color
blue.
as the horses. Her shoes and her headband are the same color as the horses, which is like a
And
bluish
you
gray.
will see coming up that when she leaves her shoe behind, it's absolutely blue.
Okay.
I mean, it is a pretty
Why was
dress.
Eddie Vine? Wait. Why was Eddie Vine Keene a regular hidden by Ann Gaynor?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see something.
Is everything okay in the chat?
And
Guys,
why did you block Eddie Vine Keene for talking about sugar?
Oh,
Brian, you're going to have to go and manually unblock Eddie Vine Keene.
I can't do it right this second. I can do it once we're done talking about this Cinderella thing.
I think she accidentally did something because she is hidden, unhidden, unhidden, hidden, unhidden, hidden. And John Nada, I think she might be falling asleep. She was putting the phone down. It was an accident. Let's see if I can unblock them. All right, John Nada, unhide. I can do it. I can fix it.
Yeah,
they are visible again.
Yeah.
I think I just fixed it. Yes. Guys, are you there? John, Eddie, can I see you? Say hello or something. It was an accident, guys. Yes, John Knott is back crying.
Hey, I've done it before. I fell asleep and I did some stuff.
Yeah,
That's why I
it's
don't put my hands
accidental
anywhere near the
blocking.
keyboard.
Touch screens can do horrible things sometimes.
Yeah.
Eddie, are you still here? You're fixed. I should be able to see you now. It says,
My
boy,
cat
is
is in
my
trouble.
cat in trouble. Okay, hold on. Hopefully Eddie didn't leave. Actually, really quickly, Esther, can you take over the reading? I'm just going to message Eddie just in case he left.
Oh, yeah, I can read it. Watch the scene. Her dress changes from blue to white, or blue-white to blue, and the prints from pale blue to pale lime green to yellow. Wow. It's weird how she's blue and white. They had a really bad continuity color, didn't they?
A bear. A bear.
I'm having a hard time
This
finding
is a
it.
very long scene here.
Yeah, because I want you to see all the changes that happen in it. I'm not there to point anything out. I'm trying to find Eddie. Let me just type his name.
No, go on, monkey. Jump at it.
Oh, her hair fell down. Hey, what's up with the... Oh, recently I saw a clip that showed the clock in the movie, and I wanted to point out that, like many clocks, the 4 is
No,
now
go on,
a
monkey.
4
Jump
o'clock. So
at
there's
it.
four lines.
It didn't have 4 eyes.
Oh, that looks weird.
No, go on, monkey.
Yeah.
Jump at it.
Why would they do that with Roman numerals? I don't know. But I saw something else, something that's just nuts and most likely a message. The clock has lost the 11 and 1. Now it's 12:12. Whoa, that's
So
weird.
look at the clock. The clock says 12:12, guys. There's no
No.
11. It's only this one scene. They do fix it. But why wouldn't they have fixed this? It's literally 12:12, like the double numbers we keep seeing. And 11 is erased of all numbers. I saw this while trying to point out the 4 ones that are there now. And instead, notice 12:12.
That's so weird.
Yeah, because 11:11, that's kind of like a repeating number. The 12:12 is supposedly a movie mistake that I've never noticed before, including when I found the image to point out the 4 to 4 change. I mean, you putting in 4 Roman numerals. Manskew's alert.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that is weird. It does say 12.
And then it fixes.
No, I did. But then the clock does have the 11 or XI and the crash chase scene.
Thank you, John Hannah. I messaged Eddie. Hopefully he sees it was an accident by the cat. So some of these have the red for the 4, but the if you just see all green, it's got the 4 the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian, what were you saying?
I was saying that, thank you. I was saying that I don't remember the Roman numerals being upside down either. They were all right side up. that's another Mandela effect.
It is. And we have found residue of it being right side up occasionally, but for 90% of clocks, they're upside down.
At least seeing the 4 on there is still better than the 4 ones.
Yes.
Whichever direction it was going, at least it's better than seeing it the other way.
Mm-hmm. Brian covered that one a long time ago in his parents' kitchen. I remember that video.
Ow.
Okay, so what's
Thank
next?
you, Nita.
Whirlpool?
That's the logos folder, sure.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that last.
No, don't do the logos folder last. That's like it's such a boring way to end the show. You're gonna do the Tim Burton last. That's what you're gonna do.
Okay, I'm just joking, Sandy.
Okay, because Tim Burton is like mind blowing.
Okay, so these are just some definitely logo changes.
All right, so the WH is merged in Whirlpool. And Pillsbury, we've covered the ILL before, but now the RY is also merged. The U is not. The red line's just on top of the gap. The RY is merged at the top, and that's new. And then the Erdl, which was a toy company, the whole thing's merged with the R going underneath. Ann Gaynor, I did message Eddie on Messenger, but I don't know if he sees it or not.
Is Eddie Von Keen able to message again?
Yes, I unblocked him, yes. So I used to use this way back in the day, Permasoft. I had a perm in grade school. And I do not remember merging letters when I was in grade school. The RMA is merged and the FT is merged. All right, so guys, I need you to look at the Soviet sickle right there. Do you remember the sickle going through the wood stick? I do not.
No.
Yeah, the sickle in the flag. It's going through the wooden stick.
No.
And Newsbreak and CBS News is all merged on the screen.
I actually do remember it being.
What were you saying?
I actually do remember it being that way.
You do remember it that way. Wow. I do not. Tan, this commercial's from the 80s, and the AM is merged.
I'm trying to look at that. You got me looking at that Russian flag.
Search Soviet flag.
Soviet flag.
Because it could have changed since then. I can't imagine that the news would put the wrong thing there. Because the current flag, it's just connecting. It's like one long piece, you know what I'm saying?
I'm showing a star that I don't remember a star in the Russian flag.
Yeah, that's
Soviet
the old
flag.
Mandela effect with the flag, is the star that wasn't there. Actually, I don't see any of them breaking through. I don't know why the news put it like that. But oh no, the flag has a star there.
So Pam, a healthier way to cook. What are they using in the ingredients in Pam?
Oh, I found one. Brian.
The A and the M is connected in Pam.
Yeah, I already mentioned that. Here, I want to send you something, Brian. In our group, in Messenger, before you hit play on that, it's an actual flag with the Soviet with the sickle going through the wood. So in some realities, there was a version of that. We'll
I'm
show
trying
you
to
after
look
the
right
folder.
now.
That way you're not going
Okay.
back and forth.
It actually
All right.
looks wrong to me now, the way that it is. Weird.
All right, you heard them, right? Boulevard, Lincoln Mercury. No mention of this Mercur that's been popping up for me. Does anyone know what Mercur is? Anyone?
No.
Mercur? Because I'm seeing Mercur on a lot of things. And this commercial, if you want to play it again, Brian, just says Lincoln Mercury. You want to play it again for them so they can hear it? So they know what they're listening for?
So listen. So here's the thing. It's the man's goose here is following the year 1989 model. Lincoln Mercury withdrew Mercur. It was one of the shortest-lived automotive brands. Do you even remember a Mercur?
I've never heard of it.
They made the Edsel or something. No, that was Ford's failure. The Edsel.
Hmm.
Oh, we've covered that, Anita. Long time ago. So does Brian? You might want to mute. You can get a copyright for that music. Coca-Cola telecommunications. Do you guys remember Coca-Cola having a television division? I do not. Brian, just mute. You're
Yes,
gonna get a
I'm
copyright on the kids' music. And also the bottom. This is a 1980s contest. Brian just took the screen away. 1980s contest, the E and the A. Look at that. I mean, it's all broken up and merged, but the E and the A and the S, they're going off the sides. I didn't see that back in the 80s. Enter here looks right. That's how words were back in the day.
Mm-hmm. That drive away sweepstakes? That looks weird.
So this one's weird. So the CBS Tuesday night movie, you'd see Tuesday come up, then night, then movies. But when it comes up separately, the E's, A's, and H's are broken. You see what I'm saying? They go through the line of the E, through the line of the A, through the line of the H. But when the whole logo's on the screen, those breaks disappear. I don't ever remember the Blair catalog having this logo. Does anyone remember this crazy logo?
I don't remember it.
Go
Unfortunately, when
back,
it came,
Brian.
I was so young, I wouldn't really remember it.
The Blair logo, that's on the screen underneath the guy talking. That's what the logo looked like, not that. Okay, Brian. Now you can go on.
Sandy, you may want to describe the Blair logo a little better, so in case it changes.
You want to trace it?
I mean, the A that's like riding on top of the
Trace
pole.
the big blue one.
It looks like
Yeah,
a
the A
boat.
kind of looks like a. I've heard boat, mountain, number 4. I've heard all different descriptions for that A. The R has got that curly Q. It's got a flowery star on top. The AI is merged. The LA is merged. The B looks like it might be breaking. The A still looks like an A, though. It still has the crossbar. Okay, so if you look closely, I know it's dark. I'm sorry. There is no New Zealand. Tasmania is attached, and it's shaped a bit different than it is today. So I don't know if this is someone's old Earth residue. I remember Australia pretty much upside down. But at least New Zealand, it is down under. It is the farthest thing south. in these pictures. And this is an FTD commercial, by the way. Okay, so maybe it's Mandela covered this, and I completely agree. I have no memory of giraffes having a mane going down their back, the length of their neck. And this is Residue from Dumbo. Neither one of these giraffes have a mane. It looks like the mother might, but it's just a shadow. There is no mane. And then on the right is a pillow, a Pennsylvania embroidered pillow with a Hershey bar. Not Hershey's, Hershey, like I remember. And most of us remember, I should say.
Sandy, you remember I found that one a while back in like October 2016. I found that one or something like that.
And then I found that Hershey Kisses changed to Hershey's Kisses too.
That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you're making me hungry.
Sorry.
Come on, chocolate.
Sorry, Esther.
No, that's all right. I've been eating cupcakes and chocolate frosting, so I want more chocolate.
Yeah, it's dangerous with all those birthdays right on top of each other.
Yeah. Well, I decided to remake the recipe again to see if it would work again. So next time I'm gonna go make it, and it turned out really good. And then I wanted to share some, and then I made some more because I'm gonna try different options.
Do either one? Well, I think Brian's occupied. Brian, can you read this, or do you want Esther to read it?
Well, if it gets a little noisy in here, I may have to have someone else read it, but I'll read it. Actress,
okay,
best known for her television acting in many 80s and 90s series, such as Give Me a Break, 227, and Family Matters. Yes, I do remember this woman in Family Matters.
227, not 227. It was pronounced 227.
227, yeah. So something, her name is Hopkins, her last name. So what is her first name, guys? What do you guys remember?
I can't say it. So you're okay. So we have two answers already. Jeff Zanzibar says Thelma Hopkins. Tom, your dad says Thelma. Anyone else? Esther, do you know this person?
I know her by her face, but I don't remember her name.
Yeah. You sure it's not Theresa?
It's not Theresa. High Pockets remembers Thelma.
I didn't know. Other than Janelle White.
Yeah, I remember Jaleel White.
Yeah, it's.
All right.
I'm spacing anything else.
Because Esther's yawning, we need to move on.
Me too. I'm yawning too.
Yeah.
Well, 12:30. Okay. It's getting kind of late. So.
We got two answers in the chat. We have both realities in the chat, so we can move
I think this is one of those Emmys where our memories will be very split. Her name was Thelma Hopkins in Sandy's past, but it's always been Thelma. You remember Thelma?
So High Pockets does, but your dad and Jeff and I do not. And Ann Gaynor is not sure, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I would remember a unique name like Thelma.
Okay.
So here we have it both ways. The article talking about the poster says Thelma, but the poster says Thelma.
I wonder if she realizes people are getting her name wrong.
No idea, Anita. But there is a lot of residue for Thelma. Did we heard and read her name wrong? Possibly. I can't say this is a Mandela effect for sure, but I've always known her as Thelma with an H.
I'm just going to kind of flip through some of these. These are all residues. They're green, so you know they're residue for Thelma, like we remember. I mean, these are some pretty well-known sites, right? That have these.
Some of them are.
You know, every site has typically an editor, and so you can't put someone's name out there incorrectly, or you get sued or in trouble. I don't get it, guys. The only thing going to explain it is Mandela effect.
Yeah, it's not like one place was being lazy, you know? It's like multiple places are getting it wrong.
Okay, we are on.
Your mom says Thelma means will. Like the will to live, you know what I'm saying? Like will. Not William. Yeah. Are we on the last one? Is that what you said?
I think this is the last one, yes. We are winding down.
Okay. Guys.
Last one, guys. So hang in there. Last one.
Make sure you're sitting down on this one, please. Okay? I would have saved this for Halloween, like we should have saved the Hocus Pocus, Brian. But this one was, this couldn't wait. This one couldn't wait. Can you go full screen, Brian?
Opening them all up. No.
No.
Okay.
Oh my word, I know the name of this movie too. I've seen it.
So, Brian, can you hit the full screen arrows, please?
What am I doing?
Hit the full screen.
It is full screen.
No, it's not. Hit the arrows in the top corner.
That's full screen.
Brian, the arrows in the top right corner under StreamYard. Hide. There you go. All right, hit play. Let them hear a clip.
Okay, well, for some reason it wasn't showing full screen correctly, I guess, but it's showing for me full screen.
Yeah, now it's full screen. All right, hit play.
Can you guys hear it?
Not really. It's so low.
Okay.
These premises are hardly prepossessing, and yet the beadle tells me you're the most accomplished of all the barbers in the city.
An honor to receive your patronage.
You know me, sir.
Knowing this quite well, does not know the great Judge Turpin.
Okay, guys.
Hardly prepossessing, and yet the beadle tells me you're the most accomplished of all the barbers in the city.
All right, you can stop playing it. So we have some answers in the chat. We have Sweeney Todd. It's just your parents, Sweeney Todd. Yeah. Don Nada is no clue. It's Sweeney Todd and a cutthroat about a cutthroat barber, says Anita. Mm-hmm. The other actor is Alan Rickman. Does anyone else? There's 29 people watching. Does anyone else know the name of the film? 29 people. No one knows this, huh? Johnny Depp and Alan Rickman and Helena Bonham Carter. Is that her name? Jeff Zanzibar says Sweeney Todd. John Nada says Sweeney Todd is the famous play which they made into a movie. Ann Gaynor says Sweeney Todd. Okay, we can move on now. Unless you guys want to chime in, Brian and Esther.
Oh, it's definitely Sweeney Todd.
Okay, definitely Sweeney Todd. Brian?
He did that creepy. That was a really hard movie to get through, especially with all the... It was.
Well, Was it slow?
Gory.
Yeah.
It was very gory.
I've only ever known this movie as Sweeney Todd, but the title has changed on everything from the movie to plays and even the first book. The official title of the movie is Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Do you remember the added sentence on the title that's always been there from day one?
We mentioned this before. A lot of movies now have taglines and things like that.
This isn't a tagline. This is the title.
I said things like that.
A tagline would be like, he's coming for his revenge. That would be the tagline. This is the title. The official title of the book, the movie, the play.
What is the Naked Gun has one of those too.
Yep.
Wait,
it gets worse. We're not even done. It gets worse than this. Keep going.
I think, what is it, On the Files of the Police Academy, or what is? I forget what the actual
something like
title.
that. I certainly do not remember this added title, but it doesn't end there. The novel story actually has 2 more names, which I've never heard of. The first is hardly used, The Sailor's Gift, a romance of particular interest. So it's also a domestic romance. There's actually 3 names, but a domestic romance I've only seen used once. The Sailor's Gift is used multiple times. But the second name was used much more throughout history, including in modern times for books, plays, and images. The String of Pearls or Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Have you ever heard of these titles? And demons in parentheses, because sometimes they'll leave demon out. I don't know why. But here you can see the book says The String of Pearls or Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. And underneath it says Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
I vaguely remember the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, but I thought that was like I remember it being on the box, but it wasn't like directly after the name. It was like sort of like one of those tagline type things. Like it was a description of who Sweeney Todd was, not
and now it's
the name
title.
Of it. Yeah,
so here we see Sweeney Todd, the String of Pearls. So there's the other name coming up, the String of Pearls. And on the right, we have Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. But I wanted to point out that there's residue of a red and white barber pole. That's why that one's there.
I remember it was just Sweeney Todd.
It was just Sweeney Todd, right. So here is all the Sweeney Todds, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, and String of Pearls, the Sailor's Gift, about Sweeney Todd.
Honestly, if I had seen the Demon Barber, I never would have watched the movie if I had known that was the title. I just saw Sweeney Todd, and I was like, "Oh, it's got Johnny Depp. I want to watch it." And then I watched it. I was
like Edward Scissorhands, like Tom did. Like, oh, it's going to be like Edward Scissorhands. No, it's not.
Yeah, like
Brian,
if I had seen that part
a lot of red.
Name, if that was the actual name, I never would have watched it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, every poster, the ones that say coming this Christmas, every DVD, every book, everything is Sweeney Todd, Barber of Fleet Street, whether it has demon or not. Barber of Fleet Street's on all of them. The Johnny Depp one is always the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, always. So here, now this one's interesting. The actual book says Sweeney Todd, like I remember. But there's 3 pictures below. And when you get a close-up, it's showing what the book should look like. It says Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. And the title on Amazon says the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, even though the picture on the left doesn't have it.
Is it one of those where they retitled the movie?
No, Brian. It's been like this since day one. I mean, I showed really old things. You must not have seen them.
I'll have to ask my sister.
Like, this goes back to when it was first written as short stories in a newspaper and compiled into a long novel. There's only 2 green slides. One more slide.
That's it.
That's it? Did we do 2 green slides?
Let me see. Let me check.
No, there's an arrow. I thought I saw an arrow. Oh yeah, we did do 2 green slides. Oh yeah, that's all it. Wow, it's really hard. It's really hard to find Residue of Sweeney Todd without the Demon Barber.
Yeah, we are going to call it a night. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless everyone. We'll see you next week.
Everyone.